stunts, inline skating, vert ramp action, and big risk-taking. All in the name of the 24th letter. Sick tricks, exclusive interviews, and we've got Tony Hawk. Welcome to the X Games. Roll the opening! Mike Sampson competes in freestyle motocross, and he often makes like Superman. Through success and injuries, his passion is as extreme as his sport.
Freestyle motocross, we basically hit ramps, get a big landing, and we just do tricks. Freestyle bikes, we start with the back end, we cut the rear fender, and on these bikes we have to cut the frame and bend them up so it follows the seat, gives you a good grab. Chop your seat down so you can throw your feet back and forth easily. You gotta have bars with no crossbar pad. Allows you to get back and forth real easy. But the most important thing on the whole bike is the suspension. We just want it as stiff as you can. Because you see how big we're jumping. We're not always hitting the landing ramp. Sometimes we're going too far. But we'd much rather break a wheel than break your ankles. The freestyle competition will have 90 seconds to 2 minutes to complete the course, which is usually 2 or 3 ramps, and we have to do as many tricks as we can without doubling them up. I mean, the most basic is as a no-footer, you just take your feet off the pegs. Heel clicker, you jump off the pegs, so your butt's sitting right here, and you got your hands like this, but you bring your feet around and you click your feet together, and you bring bar hops, you got your hands on the bar, and you stick your feet right through. You got one hand on the gas, the other hand you grab right here, and then you're sticking straight off the back, except you take your legs and you take this one, you twist it that way and bring the other one the other side. So that's a Superman secret out of Indian Air. My favorite though is you do this, your legs straight back like a Superman, and you let go, you do that, you grab it again, and then pull yourself back on. It's a rock solid. There's a trick called the coffin. So you're sitting right up here, your legs are going straight this way, and you're laying right back, your head's touching like this, but now they're doing it with a bar hop, so their hands are like this, and they're laying like this. It's called the dead body. By far the sickest trick, without a doubt, is a backflip. But now, not only they're doing backflips, they're doing backflip no footers, they're doing backflip no handers. The last weekend, some guy did a backflip heel clicker, so it's getting out of hand. I got another secret trick, but I can't tell you guys. I'll tell you, but then I'll have to kill you. Most common injuries, ankles, tib and fib. I mean, I've been there when some guys have got their bone coming out of their boot. Wrists are common. When you land, sometimes you land so hard that your wrists will buckle, they'll dislocate, so they look like a giant S. And then the next one is collarbones. Definitely, that happens a lot, and I hear it's painful. Broke my thumb, I broke both my feet, broke both my ankles. So no matter how much you hit a ramp, you're always gonna get nervous. It's hilarious, it sucks. It's stressful, it's so stressful, but it's fun. You gotta do it. It's like a drug. I mean, some people, everyone's got their own thing, but for me, it's my drug. You can't explain the rush. Your heart comes in your throat, and you're like, it's nice. I'm Mike Sampson, and that's Freestyle Motocross.
Hi, I'm Scott. And I'm Stefan. And this is Street Luge. All right, let's go, guys. My first board, it was aluminum tube sandwiched together like an I-beam with plywood. Couldn't go too fast because you used to get speed wobbles. That's what you'll find with a homemade, like a wooden homemade luge. You won't be able to go as fast as you can. The more rigid the luge, the faster you can go. Some of the first lessons we learned was how to keep stable. A lot of times when I first learned, I went down the hill, I couldn't go too fast, maybe about 35 kilometers an hour, and then I'd start to get speed wobbles and that. I used to use the standard skateboard wheels, the small hard wheels, and they're not conducive for downhill. They get to a point where they heat up and melt and they're gone.
Mountain biking accident. You gotta do one of the sports, you gotta do them all.
There's nothing really you can compare it to. Like, I've done skydiving, and skydiving's a bore for me. I did it and I'm like, this is boring. boring. Out here, it's like you feel the speed, you see the speed every time. You're pushing yourself faster. You want to go in the corner faster without crashing.
Starting in California, Northern California, and those guys skateboarding, they just, also surfers, and they're just like, hey, let's lay down on the skateboards, take it down the hill.
With braking, before you ever go out on a luge, that's the thing you want to learn first, because you have to be comfortable with braking. One of the most important things is good footwear. You want a nice, flat-soled shoe. All your braking's done with your shoes. When you stop, you put your feet flat on the ground. It stops you quickly. Like, we can stop quicker than a car with a good set of shoes. The most disposable thing about the sport is shoes. Street luging is a lot safer than a lot of other sports like downhill mountain biking and rollerblading. Because you sit low on the board, you have excellent braking on it. As soon as you got that braking down, you can stop on a dime.
Keep in mind that you have the public around you. Keep in mind that there's traffic. You try and pick a hill that's further out of the city.
You always want to respect the people that live on the street. The ultimate street racer. It's engineered to go fast. It's engineered to stop quickly. It's meant to go quick in the corners.
They are racing machines, very different from skateboards. For me, it used to be just the rush of going fast, and now it's just, I just love the racing. It's definitely on the edge.
You have to be a fast thinker, you can get yourself really hurt. Most important thing is safety, safety, safety. And that's Street Luge.
Thanks very much, Kirk. Much appreciated.
Okay, have a good time.
Now, Guy Lafleur, he always used a 50-30 Sherwood hockey stick. So I went to Sherbrooke, Quebec to find out how they make the lumber. So you want to play some hockey. You need a stick and a puck. All right, that's not going to cut it. Let's go inside and see how real sticks are made. Now this is the beginnings of the making of the shaft of the 50-30. It's Sherwood's most popular stick. You take the aspen and you put it in between the 9-ply birch veneer. You apply it on either side. The veneer actually comes from Finland. You can get the aspen from Ontario, Quebec, a couple other places. Now they jam this together with glue and they'll make 3 shafts out of it. Now, when this goes into production, it's gonna look like this. You can see they've rounded out the corners, they've sanded it down, they're ready to go to the next level. Next up is the block. Now the block is glued onto the shaft. This is what reinforces the blade to the shaft. So it gets cut to a 45-degree angle, then you add the groove. Now you're ready to add the blade. This is the blade. It's made by that machine right there. It's made out of white ash. It creates that fit to go into this groove so that when you put it on in there, you got a solid stick. Now it's robot time. All right, this is the sanding machine. It will make the blade go from that thickness to this thickness, which is important because once it gets to this thickness, we can add the curve to the blade and the pattern. After the blade has been sanded down to a proper width, we go to the computer programmer who programs the specific details of a player's stick. We get the pattern added, and then this machine carries out the orders. That means the stick goes from this to this. This is the steaming machine. This adds humidity to the blade, which makes it very, very flexible. Then it's ready to be curved. This gentleman puts it into the curving machine, and that's how you get your curve. Put it in one way for a left shot, put it in the other way for a right-hand shot. Then that mold bakes in that curve, makes it strong. Then it's time for the finishing touches. Over here is where they sand the blades down. You want to make it very, very smooth for the application of the fiberglass. The final step is putting the band on just above the heel of the stick. Just covers up where they actually applied the epoxy and the fiberglass. Make that stick look pretty. Ah, now that's a stick. This athlete has earned his nickname. Ronnie Enns is a BMX racer who handles courses like level 1 of a video game. Here are the techniques that have earned him the nickname Rockin'.
This is Rockin' Ronnie Enns. We're gonna show you some trick tips on how to BMX. Okay, this is the gate. It's a very key part of the track here. First of all, you have to have your pedals set up. Gotta have your wrist forward, Gotta be focused, locked and loaded, and ready to go.
Okay, riders, let's set them up. Riders ready? Watch the line.
Coming up to the step up here, gonna pop off the lift, suck it up, and drop it down. Double. Coming in here, you stay high, and you crank. Okay, coming into the rhythm section, super fat, jump, push down. Manual, push down, push down. Use your legs. Push. Here's another corner. You want to stay high and pedal hard. You got another table, another step up, to a triple, triple, a roller, roller into a table. Coming into this last straight, super high, pedaling hard. Gonna manual the double, which means stay on your back wheel, blast a triple. I'm rocking Ronnie Ends, and there's some tricks and tips on how to BMX, so ride hard and have fun.
It's time for our first ever installment of the POV Challenge. In honor of CFL football, we are giving businessman Michael Jenkins the opportunity to do the job of Toronto Argonauts running back Michael Jenkins. But first, we're gonna see if the baller can go boardroom. Let's watch.
I'm Josh Berman. And I'm Paul Griffith. Today, Michael Jenkins, the Argonaut running back, will take on Michael Jenkins, the businessman.
Michael Jenkins is 5'7", 215 pounds in his third CFL year, averaging over 1,000 yards rushing per season.
6'2", 225-pound Jenkins has a work ethic and ability to answer phones promptly that is equally impressive.
It sure is, Paul. Can Michael Jenkins cross over into Michael Jenkins' world?
We'll soon find out as Jenkins ventures to Strategies International.
Strategies International, piece of cake.
I've been expecting you. Michael Jenkins.
Michael Jenkins.
Michael Jenkins.
Michael Jenkins.
I think I could teach you something. Let's hit the boardroom. Just sort of discuss some of the ways that we could increase.
Josh, this certainly is going to be a heated challenge.
Right you are, Paul Griffith. Here's Jenkins in his environment. Look at him work that boardroom like a pro.
Yes, Josh, but let's see how Jenkins handles the situation.
Over to you, Michael. Your turn. Punk.
All right, today we're gonna go over the game plan. Seconds left on the game clock, and Mike is triple covered. What do?
Throw the ball to Mike?
Exactly right. See, we're gonna win. That's all we need. With a game plan like this, we can't lose.
Looks like Jenkins was able to hold his own and control that boardroom, Paul.
Now let's see how he handles answering phones.
Hello, Michael Jenkins. Okay, Bob, we'll have that for you. Okay, bye. Michael Jenkins speaking.
Hello, Michael Jenkins speaking. Just a second. It's for you.
Whoa, Jenkins is no slouch when it comes to fielding calls.
Up next, social interaction.
Oh, yeah?
Hey, guys. Hey, George.
Hey, Michael.
See the game on the weekend?
Yeah, right.
Ouch!
So anyway.
That didn't go well.
Well, looks like Argo Mike is going to coach through this one.
So, did you guys see me in the game last night?
Oh, that was so wicked.
Awesome.
Whoa, did you see that, Paul? Jenkins scored huge with the office crowd. He has proven himself to be a true workplace warrior.
Right you are, Josh. Stay tuned for part 2 of our POV challenge, where Jenkins suits up for an Argos practice.
I can't wait, Paul.
Check it out.
It's time for part 2 of the POV Challenge featuring Argo Michael Jenkins. Here again are your hosts, Josh Berman and Paul Griffith.
Thanks a lot, Joe. In part 1, Jenkins proved he has the moves to make it in any environment.
Now in part 2, let's watch as Jenkins ventures into Jenkins' world.
I can handle this. Toronto Argonauts Football Club, running back in the CFL. This should be a piece of cake.
You really want to do this?
I'm ready for this.
Go check in with the equipment.
You bet.
We're here for a long one today.
Let's get out there. Okay, I'm here. Let's go.
We're gonna do some cutting drills.
What's cut and drill?
Cutting drills easy. What we're gonna do is we're gonna get the ball. We're gonna come. No plant. Go. Let's see what he got.
Piece of cake.
We're gonna go deep. Let's see what you got. Set, go!
They pay him for this? I can't believe it.
Yeah, good catch. Let's see what he does when he gets a real defense in front of him.
Now, this guy over here, number 35, he's gonna bump you a little bit.
Okay? You're 7 yards deep, you're stepping to the left, and you're running right behind that guy right there. 66. He's gonna move first, but you don't move until that quarterback brings the ball back.
Whoa! Let's see that again, Paul.
Here's our POV analyst, Rob Qureshi Atkinson, Oregon.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks, Josh. All right, guys, let's stop it here. Stop it here. Michael Jenkins, going hard this way. Kevin Ivan, linebacker, going hard the other way. And like Newton's law of gravity states, someone here is going down.
Is that what you wanted?
I'd have buckled you up if I'd had I known.
Did you want to do one more? No, I'm just kidding.
Well, Paul Jenkins showed he could handle business.
While Jenkins proved he's no tackling dummy.
And the winner?
Michael Jenkins!
I'm Paul Griffith. And I'm Josh Berman.
Today we go behind the scenes at a Toronto Maple Leafs practice.
To see what really goes on.
Oh, right you are, Josh. Let's jump right into it.
Okay, Paul. Here's head coach Pat Quinn giving the team a pep talk at the start of the practice. Let's listen in.
Hey guys, who wants to go for wings after practice? I like them spicy, but not too spicy. Honey garlic is my favorite.
Come on, Paul. Coach Quinn isn't Mexican.
Oh, got red-handed. Let's move on.
Okay, here's a drill that the blue and white like to run during practice.
Blue and white and gray and red and light blue and dark blue and green. What's going on?
What the heck is going on here, Paul?
Must be a conspiracy. Maybe Dusty Tucker knows.
Oh, it's been that way since I've been here.
Most of the practice consists of running through drills that simulate game time situations.
Right you are, Josh. Here's goalie Trevor Kidd coming in on the breakaway.
He's just scores! And here's Gary Roberts deking out a severed head.
I think I saw that last week in the game against the Coyotes.
Oh, well.
I mean Coyotes. I don't know.
The team also goes over their detailed game plan using a complex system of X's and O's.
Oh no!
It's blank! Conspiracy time!
I think these shadowy men may be in on it, Josh Berman.
Maybe, Paul, maybe.
Oh, after 7 grueling minutes, the practice comes to an end.
And the Leafs leave the ice browbeaten and physically exhausted.
Now it's time to face the media.
Hey, Coach Quinn, what do you think about the media circus surrounding the Leafs?
I don't like any of them, quite frankly, so...
How about you, Captain Matt Sundin?
I don't really care.
Well, there you have it, Paul, the Toronto Maple Leafs practice.
I think we may have all learned something here today, Josh.
Right you are, Paul. These guys work their tails off for up to 10 minutes a day.
Then they get stuffed into duffel bags and are shipped off to their next game.
Maybe they should charter a plane.
Help me!
Well, at the moment you're in Liverpool, Nova Scotia, which is my hometown. I was born here in 1941 and used to swim not far from here, about 20 yards from where we're sitting. I used to swim on the beach as a child. And now it's the home of the Sherman Hines Museum of Photography, which is run by a Westhouse nonprofit society. And it's in the old town hall in the middle of town in Liverpool. Liverpool is located on the south shore of Nova Scotia. It's known as the Lighthouse Route. Each cove has a few fish stores and a little wharf and some fishing boats, and it's an absolutely idyllic place for photographers, whether you're amateur or advanced or professional. You will never run out of scenic material here. All these villages along this shore have ample material that you'll never run out of scenery, but you might run out of film. When you're an amateur photographer, Make sure your batteries are good in your camera. Make sure you use a tripod. I emphasize to all students when I teach that you must use a tripod to steady up the camera and give you the discipline of cropping the image. Don't be in a hurry to take the picture. Take your time, look through the viewer, and use the same film all the time, 200 or 100 ISO. Take pictures in the fog, take pictures in the rain, overcast, drizzle, anything at all makes very beautiful, moody pictures along these seacoast seaports. Light is the key element of all my photography. By light, I don't mean daylight, I don't mean sunlight. I mean light which is doing something to the environment, whether it's giving me shape, form, roundness, flatness. I have to have light on the subject. When I start photography of for instance, rocks in water, I tell myself there's a perfect picture here, there's a 10, and I have to find it. So the first one I do might be a 7 out of 10 or 8 out of 10, and I keep trying to improve it and look for a different angle. Maybe use a time exposure, let the water slosh on the rocks and give some misty effect to it. You can always find a better picture. Don't be satisfied with the first look at something. Make sure you look at it 2 or 3 times and take different angles. I find personally, and I've traveled all over the world to many, many countries, I still come back and look at the South Shore and the fishing villages as one of the most beautiful places on earth.
My name is Joanna McFarland, and I'd like to welcome everybody to Sweets on the Lake. We've had people from all over Europe, as far away as Japan, United States, Canada, and locally. It's a great place to come for a weekend or, a week. There's lots to see and do in the county. It's been a lifelong dream for me to have a bed and breakfast. I enjoy being with people. I enjoy cooking. I enjoy sharing my home with people. I've had a grown-up family and I've made lots of beds in my lifetime and served lots of breakfast, so I thought it would be just a natural. I get up about 7:15 and get myself organized for the day. And I try to have breakfast so it's sweet, savory, in case we have guests that are here for 2 or 3 days. For instance, this morning we ended up having tea, coffee, juice, milk, yogurt. I baked fresh croissants and muffins that go in the basket. Hot from the oven. We're finding that more and more people, as we've been talking to them, that they prefer to stay in something that's more personal rather than in a hotel or a motel. And each bed and breakfast place that you go to is unique to the host. Price ranges in staying at a bed and breakfast vary because it depends, I guess, on the facility and the hosts. You can stay at a bed and breakfast in Prince Edward County anywhere from $75 up to $250. Particularly at our Sweets on the Lake, our price range is from $125 to $160.
Paul Papadopoulos took us to Game 5 in this week's Total NBA.
Good intro.
Thank you.
Happy gets happy as he takes us on an ultimate basketball ride in this week's Total NBA.
Here we are, heart of the Big Apple, mecca of basketball. Game 5, Knicks Spurs. This could be it. Let's check out the NBA Finals, New York style.
Gotta believe.
Yeah. Go New York, go New York, go. Check it out, check it out, check it out, check it out. Ticket. Wapow! Wapow, you see that? Yeah! Authorized staff. I believe that means me, working media. Me, let's go. Man, I tried. That was the locker room, I think. I don't know, but they won't let me in there. You know where I'm about to go? Inside the Mecca. Well, there's a lot of action going on here right in the court right now, 45 minutes before game time. But you know, there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes too. Let's go check it out. Hello. Hey guys, you guys need extra body at all? Need any help at all? I put Ricky Martin to shame, you know? I can do it. I can be the bottom of the pyramid. I can spin you. Anybody? Anyone? I mean, you don't seem to have one of these. You don't need one of these? No, I guess this is your pass right here, right?
There you go. That's what it is.
All right, going up, going up.
Wait, want to go in the Knicks locker room?
I just did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I'm ahead of you.
Oh, sorry.
But can you give me tips on what I should be doing tonight? Anything?
Following these girls wherever they go, making sure that they got this 5, 6, 7, 8. Normally they start doing this when you say that.
See? Yeah, but I tried out for them already. I went in there, I said, look, I can put Ricky Martin to shame.
They don't let dudes do it here.
They don't?
No.
Oh, I understand. I won't do it. I'll do it. Well, how do I get to like where you are?
You're standing right next to me.
But you're right there.
Yeah, but how
but you're right.
close do you want to be?
Well, if I stand right there, I'm right where you are.
You know, let me show you how. You know how you get how I was? You get right here,
Yeah.
and then I go in here. Now you're right where I was.
The NBA Finals are broadcast in 195 countries in over 38 languages. I think that's German. I'm not too sure.